UNC Pembroke makes concerted efforts to reduce the school's carbon footprint.
And a social media post spreads false information that alarms the campus community.
Those stories and industrial chemicals continue to show up in drinking water systems around Fayetteville.
We'll tell you about it. Stay tuned. You're watching Carolina News Today. Tuesday, UNCP police responded to social media posts made by people who believed there was an active shooter on campus. After investigating the posts, campus police found no credible threat, posting an update on the university's official Instagram and Facebook accounts. However, that didn't stop students and parents from complaining that an email was not sent out to all students. They also questioned why Instagram was the first choice, even over the LifeSafe app, which shared the announcement a couple hours later.
Parents of Grays Creek Elementary School students in Fayetteville were notified last week that levels of Gen X in the drinking water have increased slightly since this time 2 years ago. Grays Creek has been on bottled water since October of 2017. That's when the chemical compound Gen X and other industrial chemicals, known as PFAs, were found in the school's drinking water. Bottled water will continue to be provided to students and staff and used in food preparation until the Kimmers Chemical Company installs a permanent replacement water system. The company is under a consent order related to waste discharge into the Cape Fear River. They've got another 6 months to provide reverse osmosis water systems or other effective equipment.
Also in Fayetteville, Reed-Ross High School has canceled a controversial Spirit Week theme after parents voiced concerns about the event that encouraged students to dress as the opposite gender. Morgan Norwood reports.
T-shirt day fine, Terror Tuesday no problem, but when it came to Wednesday's gender bender theme, Valentina Graham had no words.
It was very shocking to me. Very shocking to me.
Like many high schools across the country, Reed-Ross Classical celebrating their homecoming with Spirit Week. But Graham says Gender Bender Day crosses the line.
I accept any child that chooses to cross-dress, but for a public institution to promote cross-dressing, that's unacceptable to me.
Other parents not so concerned.
It's no big deal. It's just meant to be fun.
Tonight, local LGBTQ advocates say it's not that either. It's insensitive.
It's more just saying that people only express gender through dressing.
Additionally, Hennessy says it hinders the students who identify as transgender or gender non-conforming who still struggle to be accepted.
Now, I'm sure there's students in that school that deal with some of these things, deal with the mental health issues and things like that, dealing with societal pressures, telling them that they have to be a certain way.
Cumberland County Schools says they've been doing this Spirit Week thing for years and that this type of theme has never been an issue. Certainly wasn't chosen to offend. Valentina says it shouldn't be chosen at all.
My biggest issue is the climate for young children. They're being in my opinion, they're being overly influenced of how to direct themselves.
Because of the concerns, the Student Government Association decided to change the event's theme to Meme Character Day.
This week, officials took down a Confederate monument outside the Chatham County Courthouse. It has stood outside the iconic courthouse since 1907. The Board of Commissioners voted in August to move the statue. Chatham County's Public Information Officer said in a news release, the statue and the pedestal will be transported to a safe location, where they will be preserved and stored until the Winnie Davis chapter of the United Daughters of the Confederacy finds a more appropriate location for them.
On a chilly day in New York, a UNCP professor turned up the heat when she completed her 4th marathon. CNT reporter Amber Lawrence tells us about the accomplishment.
Sunday, November 3rd, 2019, marked the 49th anniversary of the infamous New York City Marathon. A record 52,000 runners participated, running alongside famous faces such as Orange is the New Black Uzo Abuda, MTV's Nev Schulman, and who is that? That's UNCP's very own Dr. Amelia Bach. Runners started lining up bright and early to participate in the 26.2-mile marathon. The marathon starts off in Staten Island, and the runners make their way through Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, and wrap it up in Central Park, 7 miles away from the Bronx. Dr. Block explains how she prepared for this beast of a race.
So I ran 4 days a week, and then I cross-trained 2 days a week on top of my runs, with a long run coming on the weekends. So on Saturday, you could find me running anywhere from 10 to 20 miles.
Dr. Box says she entered the lottery several years ago and at first was deferred due to lack of experience, but she was determined to check this off her bucket list. She says that she became interested after being a spectator in the previous years, watching close friends and family run. When asked how her experience was running in the marathon, she said it was harder than she anticipated and joked, saying that New York is uphill and snow both ways. But overall, it was a good experience.
The city of New York was amazing. There were spectators every mile. There was so much pride in the city, and it was a pretty amazing experience.
For Carolina News Today, I'm Amber Lawrence.
The Thanksgiving holiday is right around the corner, and UNCP students say they have many things to be thankful for.
I'm thankful for my friend's family that took me in, and they've helped me a lot since then and give me a place to stay. I'm very thankful for that.
I'm thankful for friends and family, breath in my body, being able to come to school every day, get education.
I'm thankful for being alive, just because there's a lot that comes out of being alive. Every day, there's a lot of people that's not able to get up in the morning and go about their day, or be able to breathe fresh air, or just be able to hang out with friends and family. So that's something that I'm very thankful for.
I'm 14 days away from graduation. Definitely thankful for my professors, thankful for my department. It's changed my life. And I'm just thankful for opportunities here at UNCP. As a student leader, I wouldn't be the person that I am going into the career field or whatever you guys want to call it, without the things here at UNCP. So I'm just grateful for what this campus has to offer.
I'm thankful that my family come over here. I get to further my education, be somebody in the future. That's what I'm mostly thankful for this Thanksgiving.
As the holidays approach, loved ones would surely be thankful to receive a unique gift created right here on campus by the Science Education Club. With the biology faculty, they maintain the university bee hives. CNT reporter Austin Ireland takes a hands-on look at the process.
We took a trip to UNCP's campus garden and apiary to learn about beekeeping and the products we produce.
Today we're going to be checking some bees, and the first thing that you do when you go into a beehive is you light a smoker. It calms the bees by making them run down into the hive, and they eat a bunch of honey, and then they get really big and fat and they can't sting you as easily.
We also got a chance to feed the bees their highly concentrated sugar water lunch.
Pour it directly in the top box here.
After lunch, we got to take a closer look at the products our bees have a big hand in producing.
This honey we actually cultivate this on campus locally, and it's made from the bees that we get from the hives. In these white jars is lotion, and this is what beeswax looks like. This is from one of the hives, so we had to scrape it down, shred it down, and melt it all together to make lotion.
For Carolina News Today, I'm Austin Ireland.
The nation's attention has been focused on climate change recently, making sustainability the latest trend in industry, farming, and everyday living. UNCP has joined the movement by making environment-friendly resources accessible in various forms around campus. Let's take a look.
In efforts to keep UNC Pembroke green, amenities such as charging stations for electric cars, solar panels, and a community garden are located all over campus. The charging stations, some of which were built through a grant from Duke Energy, contribute largely to reducing the campus's carbon footprint, being that roughly 1/3 of carbon emissions on campus are a direct result of transportation around the university. Even the Health Sciences building has something called a living roof, which helps to reduce rainwater runoff as well as purify the air circulating in the building. Dr. Kelly, an ecology professor at the university, says awareness of our environmental impact can start in the classroom.
Again, I think education is huge. That's why we're here, right? So it makes people aware of our effect on the planet. It makes people aware of the evidence and a better understanding of how we're interacting with our environment.
Another big contribution to reducing carbon emissions on campus comes from the campus garden and apiary located behind Cypress. The garden consists of over 55 garden beds, as well as 4 native beehives and 9 honeybee hives. Dr. Caitlin Campbell is one of the faculty members that oversees the garden. She says the facility utilizes alternative forms of energy to help contribute to lower carbon emissions around campus.
We do promote sustainable agriculture and regenerative farming, and both of those things are going to decrease some of our carbon footprint. When you're thinking about all of the industrial agriculture that's going on, there's a lot of CO2 produced through the use of the machinery and the fertilizers and things like that. So some of the things that we do are we have cover crops to protect our soil. We do a lot of soil conservation methods, and we try to grow a lot of plants which are going to absorb a lot of that CO2.
While there are programs that encourage sustainability on campus, as well as eco-friendly resources, individuals can contribute with small efforts like decreasing their use of plastic bottles and recycling. For Carolina News Today, I'm Abigail Brown.
UNCP Global Engagement observed International Education Week by hosting different events for students on each day. CNT reporter Brittany Martin tells us how they celebrated benefits of study abroad.
To encourage students to have an all-around experience like study abroad, the Office of Global Engagement starts off their 20th anniversary for their International Education Week with a movie night. But not just any movie. This movie was a Turkish film called Kedi. The goal was to connect domestic and international students with different cultures than their own. ESL specialist Jacob Lockhart explains to me the process creating opportunities and a better environment for the foreign students.
A lot of our international students here, they come on different visas. A lot of are short stay, some are semester long and some longer than that. And the Office of Global Engagement is very tied into their activities, getting them orientated here. We want to make sure that they feel good here. UNCP is a great place.
I also spoke with UNCP student Demi Michael-John, who attended the movie night as well. She tells me her experience when studying abroad in China.
It was really good. It was so different because it taught me like independence and all that stuff. And it was something I always knew, like, oh, this will make you independent. You have to do study abroad, but not until doing it did I realize, oh yeah, that is kind of life-changing.
To keep up with the celebration, I also checked into the International Cafe that was held at the UNCP Dining Hall. They served different world cuisines from around the world, such as soy cola chicken, Filipino fried rice, ratatouille, and many more. For Carolina News Today, I'm Brittany Martin.
UNCP's Hip Hop Dance Team is a student organization that just celebrated its 5-year anniversary with 5 days of special programming. CNT reporter Jazelyn Taylor is part of the troupe and tells us how they observed their org week.
After being founded in 2015 on the campus of UNCP, the Essential Hip Hop Dance Team decided to celebrate their first 5-year anniversary. The dance team kicked off their anniversary with a can drive to donate to the food pantry on campus. Due to the cat food drive, not many donated. The week followed with a candy table, dance battle, and a bake sale. The Hip Hop Dance Team President Chelsea Spence says that preparing for this event was very difficult.
Week, the preparation was a little difficult because we all had to get together and do something different for every day. So one day we had canned goods, baked goods, we sold candy. Today we have a surprise for everybody in the UC at 2:30. So we all had to get together to come together and make this event successful. The participation was very good. We all were involved in different things. We all pitched in on different things, so it wouldn't be a hard load on the executive board for the dance team. But overall, I think this week was very successful because we actually got through it. We actually fundraised. We actually got to know other students that were on campus and things like that. So it was a very fun week. Hopefully we'll be able to do it again next semester whenever the new semester comes around. But overall, I think it was a good week.
Chelsea Spence said a flash mob was supposed to take place on Friday after having students take pictures with their favorite dance team member. But due to rain and students going home, it has been postponed for another date. Despite the rainy day for having a flash mob and the can drive not being successful as planned, Chasney Hunt says that having this week was also a new way to bond with the new members on the team.
It was to have exposure for our dance team, to get people to get to know us, and also get involved with our community because we had like canned goods collected throughout the week. We did baked goods and things like that. But also for a chance for our team to get to know each other, bond with each other, and get to know each other, being that we have new and old people on the team. So it's like a fun week for not just us, but also our school as well. So it's really fun, and it was a great idea, and I love it, and hopefully I look forward to having another one soon next semester.
The Essential Hip Hop Dance Team will hold tryouts again next semester for interested students.
Another student club celebrated their organization week. CNT reporter Jamira Randolph caught up with them on karaoke night.
It's always a joy to go out and have a good time with your friends. So what better way to enjoy yourself with some good old-fashioned karaoke? It seems that the African Student Organization got this memo, and they held a karaoke night for people on campus to come out and participate in the action. Students were welcome to show up and choose any song they wanted to perform. The event turned out to be a success with everyone there singing and dancing, even the ones that needed a little extra noise to go grab the mic. The president of ASO acknowledged that this was one of those feel-good events that they held for UNCP students to come let loose a little.
We just started this club back up and running, so this is really our first fun event. This week is ASO week, where we showcase our culture to the campus.
Vice President Ashley Tsuma said that she was excited to see the new faces that came out to support ASO week. It was a refreshing experience being around and interacting with more people outside of the club. Students that came out had a blast, and certain ones had their own little concerts themselves. Some people are just natural performers and go 100% no matter the setting. And karaoke night definitely is a place to go all out and not hold back. There are no boundaries when it comes to singing your favorite song at a time like this.
I love when all the attention's on me. So I gave my best performance out here. I was singing, I was giving my all. It felt really good to be around people who didn't care about, how you might sound or how far you're going to go with your song, so it was fun.
The programming for the rest of the week for ASO included a panel discussion, a game night, and a Rep Your Flag event for their cultural night. The African Student Organization is ready to push out more events as the school year rolls on. For Carolina News Today, this is Jamir Randolph.
Attention animal lovers, it's time once again to showcase the efforts of the Robeson County Humane Society with our Pet of the Week. CNT reporter Korea Pinkney gets the details on this week's featured fur baby.
Hi, I'm here with Marcus Locklear, the Assistant Director of the Robeson County Humane Society, and we're here to talk about a special little lady. Who are we here to talk about, Marcus?
We're here to talk about Lady. She's a white female walker hound mix. She's approximately 1.5 years old. She weighs anywhere from 65 to 70 pounds. She's very sweet and docile, laid back. She is heartworm positive. She is up to date on all her vaccines. Her adoption fee is $50 if anybody is interested. She would do very, very good in open spaces. She loves to run, loves to play with her toys. She would be very, very good with kids, any kind of kids to play with her. Besides that, she's very, very docile and very, very sweet.
What kind of home would Lady be best in?
We're thinking she would be best in a home with some activity going on, some kids loving on her, playing with her. She loves to play with her toys. She loves to be outdoors, running on the loose, running wild. So anybody that has a big yard, she would love to be at home.
For Carolina News Today, I'm Korea Pinkney.
Braves football celebrates American Indian Heritage Day and Senior Day.
And men's basketball continues their hot streak.
Ty, the sports guy, tells us what's been going on in Braves athletics when we come back. Stay tuned.
What's going on, Brave Nation? Welcome back to another week of Brave Sports Updates. I'm Ty, the sports guy. Football brings out the yellow jerseys for a special night at Grace P. Johnson Stadium. CNT reporter Voshan Barnes was able to cover the game.
In the final game of the season, our Braves go up against the UVA-wise Cavaliers, and it was a good one. In the first quarter, with 4 minutes left, Josh Jones completes a 7-yard pass to Josh Sheridan for the first score of the game, making it 0-7. In the second quarter, Josh Sheridan scores yet again with a 12-yard rushing touchdown, making the score 0-14. Later in the quarter, Josh Jones sustains a knee injury, taking him out for the rest of the game. He is replaced by backup quarterback Rodney Smith. In the third quarter, UVA-Y scores a 6-yard rushing touchdown, giving them their first and only touchdown of the game, making the score 7-14. In the fourth quarter, the Braves complete 2 different extra point attempts, giving them the win over the Cavaliers. Final score, Braves 20, UVA-Y's 7. After the game, Josh Sheridan tells us how he reacted to the quarterback switch.
What I did, I pulled Rodney to the side and talked to him. Told him that he was prepared for this moment during practice and things like that. And if he needed any help, with the play calls and stuff like that, or what other people had to do, I was there to help him. So it was just basically just being a motivator, and I knew I had to step up as well.
Defensive back Yavell Morris gives us his thoughts on the defense's performance.
We knew from last week that we could play with the best teams. Granted, we gave up, some touchdowns, but we was in the game, and it was that's the number 7 at the time ranked team in the nation. So we knew we could play with anybody after that, because that gave guys the idea of, okay, we can really fight, but it's more so just trying to get over that hurdle. And today we went into it if we do the same thing we did last week but finish, we would have no problems in getting this guy's win.
In the fourth quarter of that game, during a kick return, Cavaliers returner Shaheem Revel fumbled the ball and dove to recover it. UNCP's John Jones also dove for the ball, but while doing so, he made contact with Shaheem's helmet, knocking him out. UNCP and UVA-Y's medical staff were quick to respond to Shaheem's aid. He was carted off the field onto an ambulance and taken to the hospital. We wish for the best for Shaheem and hope he has a safe but speedy recovery. They were knocked out in the first round of the Peach Belt Conference tournament, but the Brave soccer team has earned berth at Nationals. Coach Anderson says he's optimistic about the D2 tournament despite some late season injuries.
We have a number of players that have suffered season-ending injuries, but one thing that I'm proud of when it comes to UNC Pembroke soccer, yes, we've had some incredible players over the years. We've had all-conference, all-region, and actually several All-Americas, but I believe our success has always been built on a team concept. We win as a team, we lose as a team, I think we have enough depth that the players are going to have to step in and fill those gaps, are going to perform at a high level, and I'm very confident that whatever the result, we're going to play to the absolute best of our abilities, and I am incredibly excited to go down there and participate for the 4th time in the NCAA tournament.
Women's basketball faced up against Wingate University. The Braves looked great in the first quarter but lost control for the remainder of the game. Wingate was able to outscore the Braves in both the second and fourth quarter by 11 points while also out-rebounding the Braves by almost 20 rebounds. Senior Shania Lester led the Braves in scoring with 15 points. Wingate walked away with the victory 60-41, making the first true road loss of the season for the Braves. With a record of now 3-2, their next game is against St. Augustine this weekend on their home court. Men's basketball also faced up against Wingate this week, but things turned out different for the men. The Braves scored 27 points off 19 Wingate turnovers. Senior star Akia Pruitt moved to 8th place among the Peach Belt Conference all-time rebounders from his 7 rebounds on Wednesday. Pruitt now has 818 rebounds in his career and needs just 24 more this season to move past former UNCP standout George Blakeney for 7th on the list. Pruitt scored a team-best 18 points on 7 of 11 shooting. Tyrell Kirk and Jordan Ratliff both scored 13 points, and Spencer Levi came away with 11 points in the game, helping the Braves win the game 80-69. Their next game is December 1st as the Braves face off against Mount Olive at home. It was senior night for Braves volleyball as they matched up against Flagler. Although the Braves lost it in straight sets, it was a close call for each set. Senior Savannah Bean had a total of 5 kills and 3 blocks in the game. Ashley Caesar and Shannon Skird both had 7 kills in the match as well. The Braves, the setback closed the book for the 2019 regular season for the Braves with a record of 15-20, as they will now turn their attention to next week's Peach Belt Conference tournament in Aiken, South Carolina as they face up against Augusta. Braves wrestling competed in the Wolfpack duels in Raleigh this past week. The 21st ranked Pembroke wrestling team got individual victories for 4 different wrestlers on the day. Jonathan Miller posted UNCP's lone individual win of the matchup against both teams, while All-American Nick Daggett, Sammy Patikos, and Brandon Sloop all posted wins in the 27-12 setback to Reinhardt. But these efforts weren't enough to defeat the team as a whole, as UNCP loses to Reinhardt and NC State. Wrestling's next matchup is this weekend against West Liberty. And that's all the Brave Sports updates I have for you this week. And until next time, I'm Ty the Sports Guy. Emmy, Abby, back to you.
Thanks, Ty. This is our last episode of the semester. We're off next week for Thanksgiving.
And then it's on to final exams. I'm Abigail Brown.
And I'm Emmy Shalua. Happy holidays, and we'll see you in January.